Whoop, whoopie dee scoop, dee scoop, dee poop, scoop dee dee scoop, dee scoop, dee poop.
During September in school, I heard two of my friends talking about a game named Fortnite. I was wondering what it was, and when I got home the same day, I saw that PewDiePie made a video talking about it as well. When I saw it, I thought the game was fucking terrible and dry. So in my mind, I thought it would die out in a few months like fidget spinners and Dat Boy. But to my surprise, Fortnite is the biggest game in the world right now, and one of the best games out right now, in my opinion. When March hit, I decided to give the game a try out for once, and I fucking loved it. And by the way, a quick disclaimer to you people waiting for me to begin talking about the community of Fortnite. How about you go to the second half of the video, when I do begin talking about that trash. The exact time will be on screen. But before then, I wanted to sit down all the edgelords who are probably watching this thinking Fortnite is a terrible game and lecture them on why Fortnite is actually a pretty damn good game. Let's begin this video with giving some history as to what Fortnite is. Fortnite was first introduced at the Spike Video Game Awards during 2011 as a trailer which was only shown in what is now known as Save the World mode because at this time, Fortnite Battle Royale was not a thing or thought. After that, it was unveiled at 2012 San Diego Comic-Con to be a PC game, the first game developed on Unreal Engine 4 and a survival game similar to Minecraft because of the added feature of building, with some people even calling it a mix of Left 4 Dead 2 and Minecraft. It was planned to be released the year after, but as the game was changing and improving and whatnot, it basically got pushed back to an unconfirmed date. During 2014, Game Informer then announced that Fortnite would be free to play, and from that time until 2017, it had a few different alphas and betas, until Epic announced that it would be dropping on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Mac, and Windows. But on that day, July 25th, 2017, was the day where everything would change. On that day, Fortnite released, but it isn't the Fortnite that we all know. No, it isn't. Battle Royale wouldn't come out until a few months after. But during that time, all we had was Fortnite Save the World, and surprisingly, it sold pretty damn decently. It ended up selling more than 500,000 copies 4 days before it fucking launched, which is crazy if you ask me. And if you are wondering how the hell people got the game before it was released, well basically, there was a Head Start Pass access, allowing people to get it early, and it seems like a lot of people wanted it, even without Battle Royale mode being added yet. But on that day, yes, September 26th was the birth of Fortnite Battle Royale, or also known as the beginning of the death of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But I won't get into that stuff until later. Since I, Sarpal, am finished with the introduction of your class lesson, how about I begin my lecture on why Fortnite is a great game, but its community fucking sucks. I wanted to first talk about one of the most iconic mechanics in Fortnite, and that is the chests. Chests are like a mini lottery, but instead of winning money, you are winning weapons and other materials. Depending on where you go, the higher your chances are for getting good loot. What I love about the chests is that some of them are very well placed and can actually be sometimes challenging to get. But I could also say that some chest placements are very lazy as well. But overall, I enjoy the mechanic, and I enjoy the abundance of chests available to a player. And everything I just said about the chests could be said again about the ammo boxes. But yeah, I thought this mechanic wasn't too original, but they pulled it off well. The next thing I wanted to talk about are the guns and other weapons. I love basically every single gun and weapon in the game, other than the revolver, hunting rifle, and crossbow, because of the amount of time it takes to reload. But I kinda respect it for that, because they kinda make the weapons work how they do in the real world, if you understand what I'm saying here. But there are a few weapons I fucking despise, such as the rocket launcher and the heavy shotgun. Let me give you a quick story as to why. So, it was a 9 o'clock morning, where I'm just chilling, playing on my PS4 on squads. I open a chest, and I get a heavy shotgun, and my Indian teammates, I think, notice it. And they're all like, "Give me the heavy shotgun, give me the heavy shotgun." And they repeatedly say this shit over and over. until one of my teammates with a rocket launcher tries to build a box of wood around me and repeatedly use their rocket launcher to shoot it and kill me to get the heavy shotgun for themselves. That's the shit I hate. It's really fucking annoying, and now it makes me hate the fucking weapon. And the only reason I hate the rocket launcher is because of the one-hit kill shit. I would rather have it take 75% of your health instead. This mechanic is really basic in some ways, but I enjoy how they add more unique weapons, like the egg launcher and the guided missile launcher. I wanted to move on to the building mechanic, which is probably one of the most unique things in all of Fortnite. What I love most about this mechanic is that it adds on way more to the skill factor of the game, because aiming and shooting a gun at someone in-game is super fucking easy, but outbuilding someone is a challenge. It depends on how well you are at editing, building fast, outsmarting the player, etc. I love this mechanic. It gets
a 10.
On to another iconic thing in Fortnite. Let's talk about that handy pickaxe. Pickaxe doesn't seem like a big add-on to Fortnite, but if you think about it, it honestly is. It changes a lot, and it's very satisfying to just chill out and farm materials for a minute with your pickaxe. There's literally nothing bad to say about this mechanic. I like this mechanic a lot. It gets a 10. The Storm is the next mechanic I'll be speaking on. The Storm is perfect in my opinion. It gives you enough time to run out of it, and it gives you enough time to prepare before it comes. The thing I hate most about the Storm, though, is how much fucking damage you can take at a time. I honestly think Epic Games should make the change to have it take less damage, but hey, it doesn't really matter to me anyway, since I can effectively get away from the Storm in time. I give this a 5 out of 10. Another big and popular thing in Fortnite is the rarities of many of the items. Rarities of items can affect what you get in a chest and whatnot, and it increases or even shortens how frequently you can get it. I like this mechanic a lot, but I hate getting legendary items and then having to be asked a million times to give it up by a fucking normie scrub. I give this mechanic an 8 out of 10. What I wanted to talk about next is the gadgets, such as the damage trap, the boogie bomb, and more. Honestly, I really love the gadgets and how unique they are. For example, the Clinger and the Porta Fort. The one I like the most is the Boogie Bomb actually. The most useful of the gadgets though is the launch pad, since it helps you get out the storm and even escape a battle. I think the gadgets are better than the guns and other weapons personally. I give it a 20 out of 10. The second to last mechanic I'll be talking about is the banners. There's not much to these actually. They're just things that you can use as like a profile image for Fortnite, if you understand what I'm saying here. Since I have nothing else to say about this, I'll just put on an image of Danny DeVito. The final mechanic I'm going to talk about is the cause of all cancer. Fucking V-Bucks. V-Bucks is the in-game currency of Fortnite to buy skins, pickaxes, and emotes, very similar to how Robux works in Roblox. I don't have any issue with V-Bucks, except the amount of clickbait Fortnite videos that are titled "Free Fortnite V-Bucks Glitch" to get some easy views from poor teenagers who play Fortnite to trick them into thinking they will get free V-Bucks, but instead making them go to a website that doesn't even fucking work. Other than that, I don't really give a fuck about V-Bucks. They get a 2 out of 10. And like, what the fuck do V-Bucks stand for? Oh, it means Bender Bucks. Well, okay then. Since I, Sarpal, am finished with talking about my opinions on the game mechanics, I would like to now talk about a few of the cosmetic items, such as the skins, emotes, and different pickaxes. I wanted to first give my opinions on the Season 4 Battle Pass skins. My favorites out of the Battle Pass skins are Technique, Zoe, and Valor. The other skins just feel too basic and don't make you want to play as them. What I love about skins is how they can pull you in and make you want to play as them, but the Squat Leader and Battlehawk, for example, just look like shit. My favorite skins in all of Fortnite, although, is the Tomato Head, Raven, Crackshot, and John Wick. Other than that, I don't like the skins all too much. Now, onto the emotes. I actually like the emotes other than the ones that just throw up an image and that's it. But I honestly do despise the normie emotes, and by normie emotes, I mean the dances that are just popular dances that had no reason to be in the fucking game. For example, the hype dance, which was taken from a black guy, I think. You'll see him on screen. But other than that, I really like the dancing emotes. I don't have any specific ones I love although. And very quickly before I move on to pickaxes, I wanted to give my opinions on the Boogie Down challenge. I thought this challenge was a great idea, since it allowed Epic Games to interact with the community and learn the community way more. And the whole thing that happened with the orange shirt kid just increased that stuff even more. I love this challenge, but what I hated was the amount of people who just abused the Boogie Down challenge to make shitty reaction videos and shitty compilations. Now, onto the pickaxes. I fucking love pickaxes in Fortnite, but before I begin getting into that, I'm going to give my opinions on the Season 4 pickaxes. The only pickaxe I like from Season 4 is the Lollipopper. The other one is just not good in my opinion. But what I'm really excited about is literally every other fucking pickaxe. My favorite pickaxes are this shark one, this pizza cutter one, and this Yoshi the dinosaur pickaxe. I love the pickaxes so much, but I'm gonna shut the fuck up now and get to my main point as to why Fortnite is a great game. What makes Fortnite a great game is first off how well the graphics look. It's very clean, sleek, and perfect. It's really well optimized for all platforms, and it runs just fine, and the graphics come out great as well, which cannot be said about fucking PUBG. I've heard people saying that Fortnite is repetitive, and yes, it can be, but that doesn't mean it's not entertaining. Why do you think people watch fucking 6 hours Fortnite streams? Probably because the game is fun to watch, which it is. The third reason for Fortnite being great is because it appeals to fucking everyone. Literally anyone can get into the game. It's easy to pick up a controller and just start playing and understand what's happening, which cannot be said for other games half the time. My last reason as to why Fortnite is a great game is because of its developers or Epic Games itself. I love how much time and effort they put into Fortnite, keeping it updating and adding more and more things. And I also love how active they are with the community. For example, the Boogie Down challenge, which I mentioned earlier, but just the Fortnite Twitter in general, it's always shouting out streamers in the community. This is really everything in my opinion that makes Fortnite great. But with everything good about something, there is always bad about that thing as well. Let's begin talking about the community of Fortnite. The first thing I'll be talking about is the big guys, and by big guys, I'm talking about the Fortnite streamers. Fortnite streamers are nice, I guess. I enjoy being able to sit back for a bit and watch a guy play Fortnite like an absolute god. But there's just one issue. Just one. Yeah, most of them are fucking boring as shit. And especially Ninja. I don't think people watch Ninja because he's funny or because he's entertaining. I only feel like people watch him because he's good at Fortnite. If Ninja was a terrible player, would anybody really give a shit about him? And sorry about me ranting about Ninja here, but I wanted to say a few more things about him. It's so awkward watching his streams when he's playing with a celebrity. They have no chemistry with each other, and it's just not fun to watch. It gets boring seeing that Ninja can't keep a fucking conversation with these celebrities. The best example of this being Lil Yachty. That stream was absolutely terrible. In my opinion, I would say Myth or even Daquan deserves the huge amount of popularity that Ninja has, because they are both arguably better than Ninja, and they are both way more entertaining to watch. Another thing I want to call out Ninja on is him being a fucking hypocrite. Basically, Ninja said that bullying is bad, and cursing is bad, and he wants to be family friendly, which is perfectly fine that he wants to do that. But what's hypocritical is that Ninja curses a lot on his streams, which you can see in this clip here.
He got me. I didn't have enough ammo on my shotty. I kept having to reload it. He fucking got that with a tactical shotgun too. What a lucky fuck stick, dude. All my shit was fucking unloaded. God damn it. Why, dude, those fucking, that little piece of shit, they fucking rushed me because they knew who I was. 1 fucking million%. No reason they leave out of town to kill a fucking solo, dude. No way. They're on the highest building and they fucking go for one guy. They didn't go for me the entire time, dude. Oh, man. What a bunch of fucking cucklords, man. I would have fucking destroyed that kid if I had one fucking shot in my fucking green pump. He would have been dead.
Or one shield found in the last 7 minutes. That would
fucking hell, man.
And Ninja has guests that curse as well, like many of the celebrities. And if he didn't like cursing on his streams, would he really have all these famous people on his streams? Probably fucking not. This is a great example of what clout chasing looks like. But hey, there's nothing I can do about it. Hopefully Ninja's channel dies sooner or later. And that brings me to the next thing I wanted to say. I hate it when streamers just upload full-on edited videos of a game that happened on a stream and get millions and millions of views. It's absolutely fucking effortless. But other than that, I don't have any issue with the Fortnite Twitch streams. The main problem here is the YouTube Fortnite streams.
Oh, you stupid son of a... Oh, you stupid...
I have no issue with YouTube streamers like Typical Gamer and whatnot, who are just chill, but streamers like Nick830 are fucking terrible, where they just act super fucking fake. I don't really know how I could put this into words, but I'll try. Basically, what Nick does is this little chuckle every 10 fucking seconds, and it feels very forced. Watch one of his streams and you'll understand even better what I'm talking about. But other than that, I hate the streamers like Fortnite Central who will clickbait the hell out of you with the thumbnail and title. But when you actually click on the stream, it's just a bunch of clips compiled together. It just bamboozles me that people actually watch these streams daily. I also hate when YouTube streamers in their title will put #1 ranked in there to get some extra viewers. That shit, in my opinion, is fucking autistic. Other than that, I have no big issue with YouTube streamers. In this next part, I'll begin going even deeper into the Fortnite shithole. And in this deeper part, we have the Fortnite YouTubers. There are 3 subgenres of the Fortnite YouTubers I'll be talking about. And that is the clickbaiters, the bandwagoners, and the clips. First thing I'll be talking about is the clickbaiters.
Oh, you stupid son of a... Oh, you stupid son of a...
A Fortnite clickbaiter is someone who uses their video titles and thumbnails to mislead people into watching the video. Some good examples are Allie, T Martin, and Chaos. The worst of the clickbaiters is definitely Allie. His videos are super fucking boring and uninteresting. He sits down and plays a game as he says what's happening on screen like a 5-year-old at the movies. And his clickbait fucking sucks. It gets very annoying knowing people continue to fall for his shit. For example, up to the present day, Allie has created more than 3 videos relating to DC and Marvel heroes being in Fortnite. By the first thumbnail, you can probably tell that the Flash was just photoshopped in there and clearly isn't in the fucking game. But guess what? What, Sarpal? Allie's idea got a bunch of views, and people took his idea and fucking ran with it. And by ran, I'm talking fucking Usain Bolt's running. You could search up Fortnite, and all you would see is fucking clickbait superhero shit. And what sucks is that Allie can just make up an idea and people run off with it. And it happens over and over again. Allie is the heart of all this fucking cancer, and it makes me hate him. Another thing that Allie does is reach so hard for ways and explanations for his clickbait during videos. And it's just retarded. Here's an example.
Look at this guy, he is basically like a blue Iron Man. I almost like to say this is like an Allie skin, but just because of how blue, awesome, and badass it looks. Now, with a little bit of Photoshop magic, if we only change the actual colors on the Carbide skin to, as we know, the infamous gold and red colors of Iron Man, just with a simple color change, it looks so similar. It is absolutely amazing, and that's why I'm using the Carbide skin for this challenge.
I absolutely despise people like Allie, who clickbait to get gullible children to watch their channel for extra views. I've also heard that Allie has been doing giveaways, and apparently no one has won anything from them. I won't go in depth on this topic, but if you want more info on this, watch Critical's video on it. But I digress. The Fortnite clickbaiters have completely blown up and taken over YouTube, and as more of the channels blow up, more of the bandwagoners come around. As a matter of fact, I'm going to begin talking about them. Now, if you are wondering what a bandwagoner is, it is someone who hops on Fortnite during its peak and makes shit content for quick views. Some good examples of this are Morgs, Ricegum, FaZe Rug, and even Logan Paul. The most common type of bandwagoning is the 1 kill equals 1 script videos. These videos are fucking terrible and just show how low the bar is as of now for what kind of content gets rewarded. What's terrible about this is that some teens are basically creating fucking child porn. A great example of this is Morgs. In his collaborative video with 17-year-old Kiara Bridget, the thumbnail shows her running around naked. Although it is censored, it still makes no sense to me that this shit can still have ads ran on it.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just
Wednesday, my dudes.
As well as not even being taken down, since they are both fucking underage. But Morgs has even more of these script challenges with 17-year-old Kiara, with very clickbait thumbnails as well. But I would like to transition onto another person. I'm sure most of us have heard about this fucker, right? Well, yeah, I'm sure you can sum up everything I want to say by this thumbnail here. The next bandwagoner I wish to talk about is Cop, the slapping god himself. A dead gaming channel who saw the light of Fortnite and brutalized it. He's made tons of fucking attempts to get some clout off of games from before, but then he saw the challenges going around, and then he hopped in on it, and kind of got his channel alive again for a minute. After making a few terrible script challenge videos, his channel died again. He's tried making a few attempts to get more clout from Fortnite, and it worked a few times, but thankfully, he's dead again. The final and most hilarious fucking bandwagger I'm going to be talking about is this girl named Affaf. Affaf is a pretty small channel, with only 85,000 subscribers, who pumps out some generic low-quality content. A few months ago, a video of hers blew up, titled 1 kill equals 1 strip, but it's featuring Ninja apparently. Going into the video, you would probably expect that Ninja wouldn't be collaborating with such a small channel, and you would be absolutely right. But the saddest part, and even most hilarious part of the video, is the way she incorporates Ninja in. Basically, she reacts to a Ninja video, as it's unedited, so it's like fucking Jinx quality. And whenever he gets a kill, she takes off a piece of clothing. It is so fucking effortless, and deserves none of the views it has right now. At least the other channels put in the elbow grease to play the damn game. This bitch didn't do shit, but used Ninja's name for some quick clicks, and surprisingly, it ended up being her most viewed video in fucking 10 months, since her other videos can barely break 5,000 views. And this brings me into the next thing I wanted to talk about, and that's people abusing Ninja's name. You can sum up everything I want to rant about in the slideshow here. But yeah, fuck the bandwagoners, onto the Clips channels. Clips channels can be considered a mix of bandwagoner and clickbait, I guess. They're basically compilation channels and just show clips from Fortnite, which I fucking hate, since it's effortless content, but what really gets me super fucking mad is the thumbnails and titles used for the videos. I'll throw up a few examples on screen, but to keep this segment short, everything I criticize the YouTube clip streamers for, I could say again about these guys. A huge thing that grinds my gears is when Clips channels upload full unedited streams or videos and monetize them. It just makes YouTube fucking worse, it's scummy, and it's absolutely fucking retarded. Now that I'm completely finished with the YouTube Fortnite community, I want to begin talking about the media attention Fortnite has, and how it has been received in the news.
yeah, my shit at work and shit.
When Fortnite is usually in the news, it's aimed towards parents, and how the time children spend on the game should be cut, which is perfectly fine in my opinion. Here's a clip for an example.
Just encapsulate what it is about Fortnite.
Well, I mean, all my mates, we all play it. I actually went out and brought an Xbox One just to play the game because I was having to nip my little brother's PlayStation 4 for it. But yeah, it's great. I mean, it's so simple for what it is. It's not gory, so a lot of people always complain about it. I've heard like parents and stuff, but if you actually think about the other games that your kids may play, GTA, stuff like that.
This one's healthier, you think?
Yeah, it's good for you.
All right. Marina, you don't even let them have games at all.
I have so far managed to resist.
How old are they?
They are 6 and 8.
Yeah.
But I really do question the how sensible it is to invite something that we know is very addictive. Computer games are very addictive.
What about a government, literally a government law saying restrictions on screens and bans on, for instance, Fortnite has an age limit of 12. Plenty of children bust that.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the problem. That's not necessarily going to be very addictive. Actually, in China, in Japan, in South Korea, they do actually have restrictions on gaming. So they stop the internet during those specific hours to try and reduce the amount of time children are playing these games.
It's worrying, isn't it, just when you hear Marina say that there's a hospital that's admitting 50 new cases a year of gaming addiction. You've got 5 boys. The youngest is 3 who doesn't get to play Fortnite. No. I've got 2 boys that absolutely adore playing Fortnite. What's your take on it?
I think there are games and things that children are always going to be addicted to. There are certain addictions. It's all about the parenting. It's about boundaries. It's about moderation. It's about being the parent. I mean, what we are forgetting is that lots of these games have really positive things. Obviously, they all have the downfalls of, you know, I'm in a game, I can't come for dinner. But, you know, they're teaching strategic play, they're problem solving. And for the first time, I'm seeing my kids play together.
Because you work in a team as well. You can play on your own, but you can play in teams.
Yeah, they play in a team. And
but there's plenty of other ways that they can play in a team.
Of course
and you have to be careful. You know, there was a piece of research that came out a couple of years ago saying actually gaming is really good. It increases their ability with maths. It's great for strategizing it. Actually, if you look into who commissioned that research, it was a gaming company.
And whilst I completely agree, there are so many games that children can play, and that's why my children play about 16 hours of football a week versus the about 10 hours they play on Fortnite. It's about balance. So my children are playing those other games, they're engaging in other things, whilst also having this downtime.
10 hours a week in front of a screen. We know how detrimental excessive screen time is for children's health.
When I was a teenager, I watched so much TV. Nickelodeon was on between the hours of 7 and 7, if my mum let me. I don't think it's any different now. It's now a game.
It's totally immersive. You're passively watching a TV. When you're in a computer game, you've got the headphones on, you've got this ginormous screen. You are in this world that can't compete with the real world.
You see, I see my boys, my youngest, who is Jack, who's 11, I go and pick him up from school and I see him and his mates creating Fortnite in the playground. So all that you're talking about, sort of getting stuck and immersed, that world has immersed into the playground now. So they actually it's creating game, and they are doing creative play as well, though.
That's fantastic, and if that can happen, brilliant. But what you've got to realise is that there are a lot of money and a lot of effort is being spent to make these games incredibly addictive. There is a company called the Dopamine Labs. So dopamine is that addictive chemical in our brain that is specifically there to make these games more addictive, more sticky. You know, if you look at Silicon Valley, look at the pioneers of Silicon Valley. Bill Gates didn't give his kids a smartphone. Steve Jobs, when the iPad came out, no iPads in his family.
As you can probably see by that clip, the old heads don't really understand what Fortnite is, and you can't really get mad at them for it. I honestly find it quite cute. But something that I find them doing, which is absolutely stupid, is this thing I like to call parents alerts. It's where news outlets try to reach out to parents and try to stop young children from playing Fortnite so much because it's addicting. And that woman in the previous video even goes as far to say that Fortnite is basically being manipulative to keep your kids addicted, which was fucking retarded. The second really big Fortnite thingy related to the news are the online news reporters and articles. Basically, whenever Fortnite does any little tiny thing, for example, a small update, every single fucking online reporter hops on that shit. A good example is Forbes, where whenever you look up Fortnite on Google and click on news, their articles fucking flood everything. Other than that, I literally don't care at all about the online news reporters. Other than that, they sometimes hop on clickbait like flies in a piece of dog shit. The last big news-related thing are those fucking retarded-ass teenagers who end up on the news by doing some dumb shit. For example, here's this one kid, Antoine Williams, who played Fortnite during a fucking tornado, which possibly could have gotten him killed. Here's the clip.
Antoine Williams here, he lives in that house with the power lines down on it, and he was home when this happened. And Anton, you keep saying, I can't believe this is happening in Greensboro, right?
Right.
So tell us what you were doing and what you saw.
I was sitting at home and I was playing Fortnite, and all of a sudden I just hear a bunch of noise, and I look out the window and I start seeing the roof come off the houses in front of me. But then I sit back down because I only got like a couple people left in my gang. I was gonna try to finish the game. But then it just started getting worse, and then I saw the power lines come down. So I told my sister and my nephew to come to the bathroom so everything would be okay.
What did you hear? I mean, was it loud noise? A lot of people say it sounds like a train, but did you hear anything or hear anything hitting against your home?
No, I really didn't hear anything, but I really did hear when the roof started coming off the side of the house, and then when the truck flipped, then I heard that.
And what's going through your mind as you said you're in the bathroom with your sister and nephew?
I'm like, honestly, I was just thinking about the game. But I was hoping everybody was okay around me. But when I came outside to check on my neighbors, they said everything was fine.
And tell us, you said that you talked to the people who were in the home that was lifted up off the foundation. What did they tell you?
They said they just told their family to go inside the restroom, but they felt the house being lifted up off the ground.
And you said that they felt kind of being thrown?
Yeah, they felt the pressure of the wind coming through the windows.
Okay. And as you're walking outside and you're seeing this damage, what do you think?
I'm thinking I didn't even know something like this would happen in Greensboro. You can't picture this happening.
Well, we're glad you're okay. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. We really appreciate it. So again, we haven't heard any confirmed injuries, but I did speak with a gentleman who was walking by. He said his hip hurt. He was at a home just up the road a little ways, and we haven't made it quite up there yet to see the damage there. But let's turn you around here and kind of show you back this way. Trees, look at this, massive trees just uprooted on top of these cars here. This home has extensive damage, and you can really see almost a line sort of where the trees have come down and they're split in half. Again, power lines thrown all over the place, and now we're getting some first responders up the street trying to get down. There's just a ton of people out here taking pictures. Most people we've talked to have just come out after the storm blew through. Looks like there's an ambulance coming down the road here. So again, we're going to try to find some emergency officials who might be able to tell us some extent of injuries here. But you know, as we're walking down a little bit further, power lines on the road, everybody's kind of telling folks to watch out as they're walking. So, and here's a crew coming down to probably cut down some trees that are in the way. So, lots going on here. Again, we're on Phillips Avenue. We're a little bit down further to Valley View Street. Wanda?
Fucking stupid bitch! This stupid fucking
Anton Williams.
all fucking righteous fucking.
So, yeah. There's a good example I could find for a fucking idiot. You see these guys rarely all though, since most Fortnite players aren't that fucking stupid. Well, there you go. I'm completely done with talking about all things related with the Fortnite community. But that doesn't mean I'm done with this video. The next thing I'll be covering is a huge discussion that's been going on ever since the fucking release of Fortnite Battle Royale. And that discussion is simply, what's the better game? Is it PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds or Fortnite? This is completely subjective, but I would say that Fortnite is better. And in this next part, I'll be giving my reasoning as to why I'm saying this. My first reason as to why PUBG is worse than Fortnite is that it's not very well optimized for all platforms. And for example, in some circumstances, the textures won't even fucking show up. And it just goes to show how much the developers care about the game to just let it sit around like this. But with Fortnite, it works for literally everything, and it still looks fucking clean, and works well for even console, which PUBG couldn't fucking seem to figure out how to do. Another really big thing to criticize here is the fucking loot boxes, which in general is just a terrible way to do microtransactions. Basically, if you don't know what the hell loot boxes are, it's a way for you to buy cosmetics, costumes, and any other item in games. But everything you get is fucking randomized. So what you get is literally the video game lottery, and when people spend all their money on loot boxes and get faggot shit, it results in them being demotivated and wanting to play the game less. With Fortnite, it's the complete opposite. When there is something you want in the store, you can at least fucking get it. I have nothing else to say here. Fortnite is objectively better than PUBG in the microtransactions department, although some things in Fortnite can be a bit overpriced. Next thing I want to bring up is the difference in art style and appeal with PUBG and Fortnite. PlayerUnknown's art style by itself is not very unique, and the colors are very grim and gritty. And the style of the game was just ripped from games like DayZ and Arma, not even trying to differentiate itself in any way, shape, or form, and it's just completely fucking basic. But I have heard that PUBG did start off as a mod for DayZ, so I assume that could be your excuse, which is fine, I guess. In my opinion, with the grim and gritty style of the game, it doesn't make the game eye-catching at all, and it just doesn't intrigue me at all, making the game look fucking boring! Although, those are just my opinions, and you are free to have yours. But Fortnite is a different story. Fortnite's art style is really unique, and I have seen no other game with a similar style to this, other than Team Fortress 2 or whatever. But the game is very eye-catching, and as I said earlier, it's clean, and you can easily point out what everything is, as PUBG just looks like a damn clusterfuck on screen. Let me sum this up for you with a quick example or analogy for what I am trying to say here. So, look at this girl to the left. We'll call her a basic bitch. And now look at the girl on the right. We can call her interesting girl. But who was the more attractive girl, Who do you pick? Is it the girl on the left?
No.
Or is it the girl on the right?
Well, yes.
I can safely assume that you, the viewer, would pick interesting girl. And why is that, you may ask? Well, it's because the girl on the left looks like every other fucking bitch on the planet, and secondly, because there's many faults in her look. But interesting girl objectively looks better, and she looks more interesting because of the tats, hence the name. Fortnite beats PUBG in the appeal department as well. But I'll stop taking a shit on PUBG, and I'll praise it for a bit here, before you people say,
all you ever do is complain. All you ever do is fucking
One of the things I like more in PUBG than I do Fortnite is the expanded area, or map. But this could also be considered a setback, since only 100 players are packed into such a huge area, which can result in a game becoming slow as fuck. And the other thing that I think tops Fortnite is the addition of cars. It makes gameplay more fun and interesting, since the games are so fucking boring to play, since you barely find anyone unless you land at a popular area and get killed instantly. To conclude this segment although, I'll talk about the debate that Fortnite ripped off PUBG. And I can't really defend Fortnite here. I can admit, Fortnite Battle Royale did come out to cash in on PUBG's popularity, but at least Fortnite could add on to the Battle Royale genre and distinguish and define itself, which PUBG didn't fucking do compared to other games like DayZ and Arma, which I mentioned earlier. But at least Fortnite wasn't just like Radical Heights. Wait.
Have you heard of Radical fucking Heights?
Radical Heights. It's an 80s themed Battle Royale game, which in my opinion was a great idea for a theme, and has some pretty nice potential. And it could have possibly competed with Fortnite in the uniqueness department if it was pulled off well. But of course, the game was fucking terrible, which is sad, since it's so much wasted potential going down the drain. But Radical Heights was a game to basically clean up and make back all the money from the dumpster fire that was fucking Lawbreakers. A rip-off game of Overwatch to keep it short for you. Bosskey, the company that created Radical Heights, decided to pick Fortnite to rip off next to help make the money back. But it just resulted in the game being fucking buggy, broken, and just ass. For example, there are some sweet sexy bugs, such as your bike messing up, becoming an exorcism, and walking on water, like fucking Jesus Christ. And must I point out, the game has super fucking shit graphics as well, and the buildings in most environments in the game are emptier than a porn star's asshole. And it makes me glad that this game is already dying in less than 2 months of it being out, because of how low quality the game is. Only gaining less than 5,000 players daily, and will probably follow in the footsteps of Lawbreakers, and will take a huge decline in daily players soon. And what I really fucking hate is that Bosskey says that the game is in extreme early access, which literally makes me want to die, since game developers think they can just make an unfinished fucking game and slap early access on it, and then it makes it passable? It is so hilarious seeing how companies whore out themselves to try and get big off of creating low effort shit to cash in on something bigger. and not putting in the time and effort to actually make a decent game. But I can live happily ever after now, since the company that made Radical Heights, which is Bosky, is shutting down, which happened just recently, by the way.
This is terrible. Really? Quite terrible.
And that is all I have to say. I'm out of breath. I'm glad if anyone could sit through this long-ass rant. So if anything I said was false, I'm super sorry. I'm just a casual Fortnite player, and I don't know every fucking nitty-gritty detail. Tell me in the comments though, did you like the video? Did you disagree with the video? And what should I improve on in future videos? Oh, and before I go, don't forget, no one has an ass like a Fortnite character. Have a nice day.
When Ollie uploads a new video.
Please kill me. That poor man. I hope someone does kill him.
Those radioactive gases are a threat to the public health.
No! Shake that ass, girl.